welcome back to the Paperboat Project, guys. This channel is about sailing as many boats as possible, mainly sailboats, and today I'm going to give you top 5 things to remember while docking a sailboat. I'm coming into Valletta Harbour now. That is the main harbour in Malta. We have a lot of wind, about 20 knots of wind today outside. We have a little bit of shelter as I'm coming into the marina. I'm going to do a stern to berth today. I'm going to tell you what to think of and what to do, so let's get right into it. So some of you will say, hey, it's impossible to just think of 5 things. I mean, I can list probably 20, 25 things that you have to think about when docking a boat. But there's 5 essential things that I've really over time realized is the most important. Apart from having your fenders down, which is kind of a no-brainer. Maybe if you have somebody else on the boat, the communication should be very good. Who is doing what and when? If you're mostly docking boats alone, like myself, then you kind of have to do everything yourself. Having a roaming fender is maybe not that possible. So today, however, I have somebody behind the camera to help us film. I'm going to share with you and show you how to dock a boat. I've docked many different sailboats. So number 1, wind direction, and you can also maybe include there the possible stream or the flow of the water. I'm coming into a dock and I want to really be vigilant. Where is the wind coming from? Over time, you'll figure out the wind on your skin, or you'll have a wind indicator like I have here, which I'll show you. So wind direction is very important. Why? If you're coming into a slip, say this is a boat and this is a boat, and you want to come in and the wind is coming from one direction, it will push your boat off into the one side of the boat or into the other side. The best wind direction to have is really from behind, because you're just kind of slowly coming into the wind and you can control it. When you have a strong wind on your port or your starboard beam, that's where it starts getting a bit tricky. Always communicate maybe with a marina. Maybe sometimes they have a little boat that can come and push you in. But like we're going to do today, probably without the assistance, we're going to have to angle the boat in such a way so that the wind kind of eases us into the slip. Number 1. Number 2, always know about your prop wash. Every single boat, sailboat, has a certain way it behaves when it's going backwards. So some boats will pull to the port side and some boats will pull to the starboard side. Very important that you know what the boat's prop wash is doing. And if you don't, see there's a lot of wind. If you don't really know what it's doing, just pay attention to which side the boat is going. The third thing that you want to think about and that you want to be very conscious about is your speed. I always say if you're going as slow as you think you should be going, you should probably going a little bit slower. When docking a boat, you want to make sure that you always have movement. What does that mean? If you're moving backwards like we're going to be doing today, don't go so slow that you stop, because that will just really you'll have no power on your rudder at all. As soon as you stop moving, you can turn the boat and nothing will happen. So make sure that you slowly come into the berth and make sure that you have enough speed but not too much speed. Kind of takes some time to get used to. Roland Marina, this is sailing vessel So Susanna. Oh, Susanna, over.
Susanna, this is Roland Marina, over.
Roland Marina, oh, Susanna, I'm approaching to dock stern 2. Is there somebody on dock that can help me with lines, please? Over.
Oh, Susanna, we are with another airboat now, if you can stand by for a few minutes.
Roland, oh, Susanna, I'll stand by on channel 13. Please let me know when you're ready and I will approach. Over.
I'm gonna call you when we're ready, thank you.
Thank you, out. Which brings me to my 4th point. The lines on the boat. Who's going to handle the lines? And communication with the marina. In this case, I know that they hand me the lines, so you want to make sure that they're ready. In this case, there's a boat that they're busy helping, so we're going to have to just stand by, and when we're ready, we will approach. If you don't have anybody in the marina, you'll have to have your lines ready on the stern. In this case, once again, met mooring, port side, starboard side, lines ready, around the cleats, ready to hand over. In the Caribbean, if you're going to go to port side, make sure there's a bow line and a stern line, maybe a spring line as well if there's a lot of wind, but most important, bow and stern, and make sure that they're ready to hand over. So that's lines, number 4. All right, and the last one, number 5, what do you think that might be? Very important. You might think it's not important. It's the gear that you're in. So I'm not talking 4th or 5th gear on a sailboat. You have basically forward and backwards, right? So when you're reversing or approaching backwards or coming into a slip in one gear, whether that being forward or going backwards, you never want to change from that gear. What I mean with that is, as you're coming backwards in reverse gear, don't ever, if you think that you're going too fast, go forward in the middle of coming in. The reason for that is, if your rudder is not centered, you'll move the boat to a side, which might be really difficult to come back in again. Rather correct the speed when you see that you've really done well and you're close to the dock. So, you're coming in on reverse. Halfway in, you think you're going too fast. You put the boat in forward, the bow turns out, or the wind might pull it off, and all of a sudden you're onto a boat, and now you can't get out because now the fenders are touching each other and the lifelines might get entangled. So the best thing to do is come slowly, stay in one gear, and as soon as you realize, oh, I'm going a little bit too fast, but I'm close to the dock, you'll put it in forward. Wind direction, prop wash, speed, line, and your gears. If you remember those 5 things, and obviously your fenders and those type of things,
you can proceed.
then you can proceed and probably make a good parking spot out of your boat. So let's proceed. I'm going to dock the boat. I'm going to have her film a little bit. The wind is coming right now from my starboard side. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the boat back, stern to, put the bow into the wind.
Also, this is Marina. You can proceed, caution.
Roland Marina, Susanna, thank you. I'm proceeding. I will be docking in about a minute and a half. Thank you. Out. Right, so there you have it. So the first thing I'm going to do right now as I'm going to the dock is I want to know where the wind is coming from. Okay, so the wind is coming from here. I can just feel it. So what I have to do is I kind of have to get the boat's bow into the wind when I'm docking it. So if the dock is like this and the wind is from there where it is right now, I'm going to have to kind of put the boat's bow into the wind and come in like this. Allow the wind to push me into the slip, if you know what I mean. Then obviously I need to make sure that I know what my prop wash is. I know what the prop wash is on this boat. Speed. Ooh, there's a lot of wind. Okay, very dangerous today to dock the boat. So it's the best time to tell you. The speed needs to be perfect. Okay. My gear, I need to make sure that the gear stays in backwards. And I know that they're ready with the lines. So it's easier said than done. Let's see if I can do it. Alright, so my speed, I feel like I'm going a little bit too fast, but we have a lot of wind, so I can't go too slow. In this case, I have a fender right behind me, so I've got to go around the fender to get into the slip, which makes it a little bit more difficult. So, but we'll do that. Going around the fender. The wind's now going to come from my starboard bow. Going to push me into the slip. Alright, my speed kind of fine. I'm in neutral still. I'm not going to go forward. Still have momentum. Okay, now the wind is going to start pushing me to the port side. I'm fine. Don't need assistance. Okay, kind of fast, coming in fast. And I will correct it when I'm in. See what happens when I correct it. Just to debrief, I did everything right, but one thing. When I came back, the guy in the marina said slower. I put it forward, which I shouldn't have done, and then the boat already falls onto the other boat. Even me still make mistakes, but there you go. Top 5 things. Now, top 1 thing: whiskey.
What a pro.
This channel is all about sailing as much boats as possible. Sail about.
Start with Sailboat. I'm scared. Expect from you to make me feel safe. And when I see that we get really close to this boat, I'm getting scared.
Think about how far we're from that boat, okay?
Baby,
Think
right
about
now.
driving in traffic in your car. You can basically touch the other car.
Still running, so.
Don't worry, okay? Thank you for showing me.